Welcome back. I'm Fiona Mboa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. We bring you real people sharing their real experiences about what marriage is all about. And before we went for the break, Counsel here was telling us that different types of marriages. Did you know that you have to actually have a licensed person to wed you in a licensed place for it to be legalized? Yeah, okay, I'm not sure I knew. So let's continue this conversation, Counsel.
There is also another issue of people going to wed in the gardens.
Yes, those, now that is
People
very
going
clear.
on
Those destination weddings.
yes, destinations
Yes.
on water,
Yes.
Lake Victoria.
Beach wedding.
So you would ask me, how does that place be recognized as a marriage, as a place
First of all,
of marriage?
does it be recognized? Is it recognized?
Yes, there it requires a special arrangement that you must acquire a license from the minister.
How does that happen?
You apply. You write to the
So
minister.
is it the owner of the place or me who is going to get
Me
married?
who is going to wed, you inform the minister that you are requiring a special license to go and wed on top of Lake Victoria.
On top of the
Yes,
Yeah.
you want to wed when you are
So which ministry handles that?
the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
So I write to the...
You
I
write,
don't go to a mom house this time.
you just write to the minister,
Hmm.
okay? Then when you write to the minister will issue a license. Of course, you go through the register of marriages.
Hmm.
Yes. Then when you get that permission, you can go and conduct any marriage. They will gazette that place.
Do they gazette it permanently or
No,
only
it is
that
for purposes
day?
of that marriage. They will even give you the hours
Yeah.
when that place will be a legal place to conduct a marriage.
Then after it stops.
After
breathing.
the expiration of those hours, that place cannot. And if you conduct that marriage or solemnize it after those hours, that marriage was illegal. Me as an advocate, I will look at the license and the time when the marriage was conducted. If it was a few hours, a few minutes after, that marriage is invalid.
How about you people just trying to invalidate our marriage?
That is the thing.
So apart from making the place special, I still have to get someone who is licensed.
Yes, even when he goes there, he will also be licensed to conduct that marriage. Now, we are saying, Bishop Uganda was advocating for this, that no, instead of saying that the place should be gazetted, you look for the license, you are giving the minister powers, either reject. But for you choose your place, where you think that you want to go on the top of Lake Victoria, and then let it also be there the marriage bands. That my marriage will be conducted on top of Lake Victoria or in Lake Chog. Or they will conduct in these gardens, in Arma Gardens. Then let the people know it's going to take place there. Then they can now check, so that you don't give the minister more powers to reject or to.
Because that means he can actually
Because
reject.
yes, it can just for purposes of that, you can say no, I will not accept. Then you can check on the marriage portal where this marriage was conducted, so that people have the freedom. Because if you can make somebody confess Christ Jesus on TV
and
without a place, without what is in the America, is even where on TV, why don't somebody wait wherever he is? So that you can remove this issue of walking from Nakapripiti to come and apply for the license and go back. People don't have those resources.
And that's why most people choose to
People
stay
choose to
unmarried.
cohabit because they see there are so many formalities
Rules
which
and
are rule and regulations which are very hard to fulfill. Yes.
So after I've gazetted my place,
Yes.
getting a special license,
So there's no need for
I'm
special
wondering why
license.
it's not permanent.
As long as the entity which is going to conduct that marriage and the person has been recognized. Let the people
How long
wait.
does that take
To do what?
to get a special license?
You apply, because you must be educated. Now, according to the law, now you must have completed senior 4. You must be able to speak English.
To get married?
Yes, not to solemnize the marriage.
Eh,
Yes.
What if the marriage is in Uganda?
Whatever, but the requirement
must
is
know
that you
English.
must be able to speak. Because somebody with senior 4, you must be able to speak or to express yourself in
So many
English.
people who didn't go to school are not going to solemnize.
You are not going to do that. Because how are you going to, because some of these certificates are written in English. How are you going to read? You are a P7 graduate. You may not easily to read some of those words. So the government is saying, no, the minimum requirement required is S4. At least below the threshold of a member of parliament, which is senior 6.
Very sad.
Yes.
But anyway, so we've understood those marriages, and I
Mm.
hope my viewers have been able to understand them,
Yes.
because at least you've broken it down
Yes.
as much as possible.
Yes.
Apart from having the legal places, what other legalities around the wedding? Like on that day,
Mm.
what should I look out for me as a bride?
Yes, you must ensure that you are not within the limited degrees of consanguinity or relationship with the person you're going to marry.
Use normal words.
No,
Now
no.
it is consanguine.
Now let me say
Consanguine.
that you are not within the prohibited degrees of relationship. For example, this is your auntie's son or,
So
or
you
daughter.
prohibit me from marrying my auntie's son?
Yes, it's not allowed. You are not allowed. That this one is your cousin. This one is first or second cousin that you cannot marry. This one is your what is Chizibwe Muruganda, what you cannot marry. There are people who have known their mothers. So do you want that the religious should go and allow, or the church leader
No,
allow?
I've seen people who have married their second cousins.
Yes,
So you mean those marriages are not?
they are not permitted. They are not lawful. So those are things you must look out. Who is this person? So make some. The Bible says, "He who finds a wife," Proverbs, finds a good thing, and he finds favor with the Lord. In other, there is a kind of research. He who finds, finding connotes research. Whose daughter is this? Whose son is this? Make some research, but the world we are in now, it is running at terrific speed. There is no time for research.
Even don't know our cousins.
You don't know your cousins, you don't know what, so you are on the brink, you have seen a lady, nice, beautiful lady, brown, you just go to marry. So those are the things. Then you look at age.
Below 18.
Yes, below 18 you are not going to marry. Then look at the consent, have the children, have the parents consented, you have.
But some churches
a blessing.
go ahead and wed you without consent.
We are trying also to, in Parliament, we are trying to do away with this new bill.
But now, I am over 18 because you said that is a must.
Yes.
Why do I need my parents' consent?
We are also fighting that consent issue. But we are saying that the parents shouldn't be, the law shouldn't kick out the parents outrightly. But they have no part, they cannot take part in the marriage of their children. Because sometimes the religion can also bring problems. This one is this religion, this one is this the other religion. So they are
Sometimes we're in love and we don't want to think.
They don't want to think about this, but after as you move on, it becomes a reality and it affects and it hits very hard.
So that's where parents.
This one is praying when he's facing this side. This one is praying when his head is upside down.
So that's where parents.
This one is praying while eating grass. This one is praying while he's reciting a rosary. So it becomes
eating grass.
it becomes a nightmare to harmonize. Because
so that's where parents come
Madam
in.
Mbo, let me now clear the village. Marriage is not just a union. Now different from what Hyde is saying, Hyde Holding is saying, a marriage of union of one man and woman. But marriage is a destiny. As a Christian, marriage is nothing else but destiny. If it is not about destiny, then you are wasting time being in marriage. Because God will ask, who is your wife I give you?
How is it destiny? Please break it down.
Destiny means that you must be aiming at a bigger picture. You must be ready to walk the talk until the end. It's not about getting children. It's not about taking them to school. It's not about enlarging the clan. That is the cultural perspective of what marriage is. That when you marry now, you have become a man. God does not look at that. That when you have a woman or you have a man, that's when you become a woman, that's when you become a man. No, God is looking at destiny. What are you helping this lady to be? It is all pointing at the man called Christ. If it's not
takes us back to the cross.
Yes, if it's not for Christ, then whatever you are doing, it is a narrative. You are not going, you have no future, you are not going anywhere. Because that's why it is in the Bible, marriage is a symbol of what will happen on Judgment Day. Christ and the church. So us with Christ, it is destiny.
But you see now, that's where the problem comes in. As you've said, I can accept Christ from anywhere.
Yes.
No papers.
No papers, no what. But why is marriage so much hyped up? Papers, this, consents, and here. But you can accept Christ from wherever you are, even in the pit. you accept Christ. The other guy accepted Christ when he was on the cross, and Jesus promised him paradise that evening. He did not sign anywhere. There was no reverend. There was no archbishop or archbishop.
And I think that brings me to a question. Many people say, you people who say you're married, for us who have cohabited, maybe we are more committed because we are not holding on because of the paper that was given in
or the ring.
Or the ring.
There's some people who say that marriage is in the ring. He removes the ring and says the marriage is over. Who tells you? This is destiny. Marriage goes beyond the round metal on your fingers. It is a serious undertaking. It's a serious, I hear people call it an institution. It is not even an institution. It is a destiny. An institution you can get in and get out. But this is destiny.
Even the courses can be
the courses can
4 years and you leave.
No one knows if it's an institution, what's the course?
Oh, the content.
Is it chemistry? Is it
What
biology?
Content.
What's the course content? What's the syllabus? It's not there. And the Bible says marriage is a mystery. Paul was telling Christians that the mystery of marriage, the word mystery, it's not even a ministry, it is a mystery. Mystery you can get in and get out. But it is a mystery.
That cannot be understood.
It can't be understood unless you go to the owner, unless you go to the creator.
The founder
because mysteries must be expounded. It must be discovered. A mystery is something which is covered. It takes somebody diligent. It takes a revelation, a deeper understanding by the Spirit of God to understand what marriage is. So that's why it is tossing people here and there.
So marriage, now, we've understood, at least what I've understood is, if I'm doing, for example, a church marriage, I actually need 2 certificates, right?
Yes.
One from...
For purposes of government.
For purposes of government.
Yes.
One is the government certificate.
Yes.
One is the church certificate.
No, that church certificate is the one which they take to government for registration. Then you can go to government to give you...
So who gives out? Do churches give us this?
Church do give.
They bring, no, the one for government.
Yes.
Do they, after the wedding, they are supposed to call us and give them back to
when
us?
you make returns from the church which has conducted a marriage, you go to government, you present this of yours
the
of
church
the church.
takes them or
yes.
as an individual?
No, the church will present the marriage certificate which have been done by any entity that has solemnized the marriage. Then the government will look at those certificates and register the marriage, and they can issue a certificate from government. Just like you go to get a death certificate from the Gombora, they give what they call a short death certificate, which you take to NIRA, then they will issue a national death certificate.
And now, Counsel, to be honest,
yes.
Was that done for your wedding?
I think it was done because Church of Uganda normally makes returns.
Yes, it makes a return.
Yes, but if I go there now, if I go with the other one, I will find they have made returns. Then they can give me a national.
So it is on me as an individual.
Yes, because you have
to take this certificate.
Yes, because equity helps the vigilant. Church may not call you, come and pick this, but if you want now, you can go there.
So you go to church or you go to
you
the
go
registrar?
You go to the registrar of marriages, and you can apply for it, and you pay some money, and then or fee, then they give you the national.
I've been married 14 years. I've never picked.
Yes, sometimes ladies are waiving the ones of church.
And we go with those, and we are sure.
And we go with those, but if that one may not stand in court. You need the one for government. Yes, it's like if your child gets a birth certificate from the hospital.
It can't pass.
It may not pass in courts of law. You have to go to government, and then they give you a birth certificate which is from NIRA, which you can attach. That one, it's evidence.
But we need to make sure we pick this certificate.
Yes.
Because, okay, let me ask a question. There's a friend who sadly they had to get a divorce. And you reach the point of divorce and your marriage is not actually registered with the government.
Yes.
What happens there?
There is no marriage.
But I've been married. I've been with you. I've been cooking for you for 10 years.
Yes.
We have 5 children, 6 children.
The fact that you have children with a man does not mean that you are married.
And they reach that point
children
and you tell me that
is not evidence of marriage. children is not evidence of.
But people have seen us, we've married, we went even to a church.
That's for purposes of window dressing. But when it comes to courts of law, for us we shall not say the
So you'll actually tell me you're not married?
Yes, there is no evidence of marriage. Upon death of one of you, you have to prove you cannot give you letters of administration or grant of property. You cannot, court will not give you.
So now you brought in another thing that maybe we should talk about. So meaning, when a spouse dies,
Yes.
I need that legal document from government.
Yes.
If I'm to be like an administrator.
Yes. You must present a marriage certificate.
Not
Because-
my church certificate.
Suppose now 10 wives come. They are all saying we are married. How is government going to resolve that, or court? It's not upon presentation of proof, production of proof, that government will say this is the illegal wife, not wedded wife. Illegal wife.
What's the difference? So there's wedded wife and legal wife.
Yes.
Can those two be different?
You can, because there are so many religions now which can say we wedded you. She will also come claim that I'm wedded. But where is your certificate?
This is saddening.
Yes. When you wed, there must be evidence of that wedding.
So I can be the wedded wife but not the legal wife?
Yes. Because there are so many religions now, there are so many entities now which are conducting marriages in their own way. Another one is wedding while eating grass. This one is wedding while facing upwards. So they say we wedded you.
But
So,
where is the legal
so
document?
wedding is not evidence of marriage. A certificate of marriage is evidence of marriage.
So from what you're saying, actually, I'm now starting to think that people who go to the registers are even more, it's firmer than us who
Yes.
just go to church.
Yes. Because that's government. Because now why does the church say first we don't administer divorce? They send it to government. But how will government divorce you when you are not legally married? They have to deal with a marriage which was originally there, initially there.
So if that marriage is not
It-
registered, it is potay and
government's
nothing.
hands are tied. They will tell you there is no marriage to talk about. You're only girlfriend and boyfriends. Proceed.
Separate if you want, for us we don't
If you
know
want, you
about
can
it.
just take this route. This one goes east, this one goes south.
But Counsel, why aren't
But
we
government
more
will
aware
handle
of
the
this?
issue of children.
Why aren't we more aware of these things?
It's because we have taken everything customarily, casually. Yes, that's the problem. But we need the people to be educated about what.
And I'm hoping my viewers are picking something,
Yes.
because now I'm actually realizing, what happens if you reach and they tell you
Now,
you're never married?
in Parliament, we are telling Parliament that the pastor's platform is telling Parliament that no, let us formalize cohabitation. If you have married a lady for 5 years, you have not conducted any marriage ceremony, we shall consider that one to be your wife. The spouse who is concerned or agitated can go to the LCs, can go to the cow, and that marriage is registered. So that it stops these men who are playing with people's daughters, and after he says, me, I'm not in this
I'm
thing.
not your husband.
I'm not your husband, I have gotten another deal, hot deal. So after 3 or 5 years, you have even kids, these kids are protected and in marriage. So you are married. So men will fear to interfere now.
But you think, is that a good thing?
But I think it can achieve some, it can have some benefits. It can achieve some goals. That men will tread carefully.
For they start.
Yes.
But you have men who will cohabit for 3 years, then leave you because it's almost the time for...
If you have been there now and 3 years clocks, then she goes and reports. Because you have left their kids. People have seen you with this lady. You have moved her everywhere. The parents know that she's staying with the man. Tomorrow that the man is not there. Or upon death, the family comes with pangas. Said, who are you? We don't know you. You have never been married to our son or to our brother. Go. They chase you like a demon.
So these legal things actually supposed to protect
Yes, they're
us.
supposed to protect the lady, on the vulnerable party. Especially the ladies who actually do suffer when these scenarios come up.
So as we figure all this out, what are those things we must look out for when we are doing these weddings?
What are the things?
We must look out for, which other legal things must we look out for?
Yes. When you are...
going for a church wedding, especially.
The church wedding. What other legal things? I think, of course, we have talked about there was marriage bans, which were done, and within the
And
prescribed
marriage
time.
bans, of late I hear people who do them in like one Sunday and that's it.
No, we are even now advocating that they should be also made online. Let anybody who is in Katapui.
Can see, because now what happens if I don't pray from that church?
Yes, because how we know that now? Do I know the marriage which has been conducted at Namirebe? Or which has been conducted in Kabar?
So if they're announcing in
But as you
November,
see,
I pray from
yes,
Bokoto.
you pray from God. How will you know? Even your husband can go and wed in
Another
Kasokos.
church.
In another church. A husband changes from Mbarara, he goes to Abreton. He's a new person. He marries afresh and he tells you, I have never,
And they
never.
announce.
And they announce for 3 weeks, nobody comes up. The guy is new. How will you pin him? But now, when it has been dictarized, you just say, what's your name? My name is Anthony Muhwezi. Okay. Are you married? No. Okay, let me check. I just put him. Or your NIN number.
And brings married to this one?
Who is Lydia? I can see you wedded in Kavera Maido. In 2019. Do you deny? It is here. Go away. You just dismiss that one Samaritan.
Yes. And I think that will also help the churches because I think things are limited.
Because pastors have fallen prey for this. They have been manipulated.
Because they don't
Bishops have been manipulated. Because people have nowhere to check. The person has come new.
Because I'm imagining
Even if you are outside
of the country.
Yes, you are outside the country. You have been there for 3 or 5 months or a year. They will know you are married by just checking, like you see what's up.
I think we need to advocate for that.
That's what we are advocating for. And Bishop Chiganda of Christianity Focus Center has been so vehemently advocating for this even in Parliament. And I think it can solve so many problems.
It would actually solve very many problems.
Yes,
especially
we want it to be incorporated in this new bill.
Because honestly, someone can actually go and wed and you don't know anything.
And you don't know anything.
And most born-again churches have fallen prey to this.
Too much.
So, this, okay, now a little bit, yes, we are married. We've seen that we have to actually follow, you personally follow. You said equity does what?
Equity helps the vigilant, aids the vigilance.
So we need to be vigilant ourselves to make sure you follow that you get your legal certificate.
Yes.
Now, what happens at dissolution? If for any reason, we don't believe in divorce, but honestly speaking, it's happening.
It is happening.
It's happening.
You can deny it, but it's taking place
happening.
everywhere. Actually, now there is more divorce in churches than in the world.
Sad. What happens then? What legal things? Of course now, unfortunately, or fortunately at that point, when you find your marriage is not registered, everyone runs, as you said, everyone can take
it takes south, this one takes north.
And that is
at a terrific speed, and it ends there.
But doesn't it have anything that holds together maybe the children, what the things to handle,
Imagine there were no
of
children. How can you trace this other guy that has left, this other lady that has also run away? There's nothing to trace unless there are children. But at dissolution, you must dissolve something which was already there. If it was not there, don't talk about the dissolution. But upon dissolution, said there was a marriage. There are things, there are checks and balances that you must follow. For example, where there are property acquired. There is property which you have bought when you are in this marriage. There must be
legal or not, I was in this marriage and
in
bought
this marriage.
this property.
But there is property. Maybe you have all equally contributed. Then there's the issue of children. How are these children going to be treated upon dissolution of this marriage? They need to eat, they need medication, they need education, they need upkeep, they need accommodation.
So in the legal marriage, in the legal sense of marriage, let's say, yes, if this marriage was legalized, everything is okay. How does the divorce lower? Who takes the children? Is it random or?
Now, it depends on the person that has petitioned for divorce. In most cases, there are ladies who are petitioning for divorce.
Really?
In most cases, I am an advocate, but the most
cases
I have seen ladies are the ones I want to part with this man because he has got another woman.
So if I am okay, yes, he has got another
Yes,
woman
he has
and I
other
want to
children.
petition.
Yes.
Can I take my children and go?
It depends. If now he's engaged in another marriage and you have proof, it's not just a matter of
You need to prove.
yes, you have to prove that he has. Because you say, no, I've not committed adultery. I'm not engaged in any other extramarital arrangements or relationships. So you have to prove. He who alleges must prove. That's the principle of the law. Yes, it's on you. But in case it is proved to the satisfaction of court that yes, you are engaged in another marriage. Now, can you give this man these children to go take the other one? Can you accept? That my children be taken, yours, you, Madame Mbowa, that your children, you give them to,
even give them to another father.
That you give them to you give them to another woman to go and care for your children. You say, court will look at what is your financial stability, what is your financial muscle, can you look after these kids, and in resolution, in all issues to do with petition for resolution, for nullification, for divorce, the child welfare principle must become paramount. Where are these children going to feel comfortable in the environment in which they can grow and become responsible citizens? So court
looks at the children.
We look at that welfare principle. Who can fend for them? Who can really bring them up into responsible citizens? Who is going to be there for them? A man is a certified drunkard, and you give him children to go and he drinks up to 5 a.m. and the court says you take it because they are your children? No. So the welfare principle here, court will always follow.
How about property?
Property, of course, you can say we share.
Because I've had, okay, I think this is, watch too much TV also in Uganda. You find that what we see abroad is a 50% share. As long as you're married, you share the property. Is it the same with the law in Uganda?
It is also, here in Uganda, it is dependent on so many circumstances. Because there could be properties which you acquired before you were married.
I thought once we get married, they all become joint.
No. There are properties which are jointly owned. There are properties which are not jointly owned, but I acquired them when I was married.
But when those become jointly owned?
It depends on the circumstances, so you cannot say that the law is strictly this, that you have to share 50-50.
So for the law in Uganda, it's not very clear about sharing.
It is not yet out clear on the distribution of property, because the properties are acquired differently and in different circumstances. So all those must be looked at in order for court. Court remains with discretion to decide on property, who takes what. Suppose I'm going to be in custody of the kids. Don't you think I need a home? Yes, the man built it, but now that I have custody of the kids, I have to have a home. If upon divorce, it would be proper that the children are with the mother and leave the house with the mother. You as a man who is one, these are 6 children and their mother, why should you want to take the wife, rather the house?
For the new wife.
Yes. And then that you're just unreasonable. You'd say, let them, me I can even go and have a rental and be there because you are one. So court will look at all those surrounding circumstances.
So it's basically the discretion of the court.
Yes. Discretion of court, madam.
Interesting.
Yes.
As we come to a conclusion, what do you tell my viewers about this whole aspect of marriage?
Yes, I would say that it is a very sensitive issue that we must handle with all the diligence. Let us not leave it just to chance and fate.
That's true.
That we must also be there before you enter it, before you engage, and when you are already there, please, there are things that you must do to ensure that it flourishes and it takes you. Because it is destiny. There are some challenges, yes, but it is a destiny, it is a journey that we must walk.
Wow. Thank you very much, Counsel, for your information. And I know our viewers have really picked a lot. I personally have, and I'm going to guide people better now with all that information. Thank you for your time and for making it here. And for our viewers, thank you for being with us to the very end. I hope we have picked something. As I keep saying, marriage, no one is an expert at marriage. Even a 1-month-old person can teach you what you can learn about marriage. So don't fear to reach out. Let us do this marriage thing together to make sure that we do it as God destined it to be. As Counsel Muhwezi has said, it is destiny. It is not just an institution, it is destiny. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family